Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, staff. Thanks for the speakers. I'd like to first start out with the quick questions about their LCP or lack thereof. I am in a neighboring city that shares some of the same concerns that they do. We're one of the densest cities, coastal cities in the state, similar to Santa Monica. They are one of the largest coastal cities in the state. They also do not have an LCP, similar to Hermosa Beach. We just heard a comment that Assemblymember Zabur was bashing the Coastal Commission for Santa Monica's failure to have an LCP. Can you give us a quick history of their LCP attempts? Because I've had discussions with their electeds as well that said, hey, if you focused your energies on an LCP as opposed to trying to take a machete to the Coastal Act, I think your efforts would be better focused.
Thank you. And through the chair, I'd like to address that. Staff agrees that the issues proposed in this law could easily be addressed through the city's LCP and would be best addressed through that tool. The city does have a certified land use plan, which is one half of their LCP. It still requires an implementation plan. To further that effort, as Sean mentioned, the commission granted the city multiple financial grants in order to complete their LCP. The first half of that process was the draft land use plan to update the existing land use plan. And commission staff worked with the city to accomplish that. In fact, we had it done. We had a draft LUP, and it was agendized for approval by the commission about 5 years ago. That was at the beginning of COVID. And although we had worked very hard with the city staff and their city manager to reach agreement on all issues, unfortunately, it was a turbulent time, and at the beginning of COVID, the city manager was ousted. The city attorney became the interim city manager. And days before our hearing, we were notified in a shocking manner that the city, due to their change in management, wished to reevaluate the agreements that they had previously made for that draft LUP. And days before our hearing, they withdrew that LUP amendment before we could approve it. Now, I have no doubt that in 5 years, we could have adopted that LUP and finished the implementation plan. So that city today would have a local coastal program, and they would have the authority to make decisions over exactly these sorts of development. Now, we are continuing to work with the city on many issues, and some of those issues are in this law today. Some of those are that the city currently has half a dozen unpermitted preferential parking districts where the public is excluded from parking in the neighborhoods near the beach. That's one of the items addressed in the law and one of the items that the city would like to address in their LCP. So we do continue to want to work with the city to address these items through the CDP and the LCP process. We've also reached out to the city, and we are continuing to discuss with them to reinitiate the LCP process and work with them to bring that effort back and restart that process so that we can certify that LCP.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that history lesson.